My friend, let me ask you something simple but important. Have you noticed that even after eating well, taking supplements, and trying every muscle-building trick the internet throws at you, your strength still doesn't come back the way it used to? You see, there's a reason so many men over 60 feel like they're doing everything right, yet their muscles stay soft, their energy stays low, and recovery feels slower every year. And part of that reason lies in one word that the fitness industry keeps shouting about: creatine. Now, I know you've heard it before. Every influencer, every gym coach, every fitness expert says, take 5 grams of creatine every day. It'll make you stronger. But here's the plain truth. If you're over 60, taking creatine the same way a 30-year-old does will not work. In fact, it might even make you feel worse, more bloated, more tired, and more frustrated. And I'll tell you exactly why. See, creatine isn't magic powder. It's a compound your muscles use for quick bursts of energy, but it only works if your muscles are depleted through heavy, intense exercise. You need to be lifting weights close to your limit to even make that supplement useful. But after 60, your joints, tendons, and lower back aren't built for that kind of strain anymore. You can't, and shouldn't, be chasing heavy bench presses or deadlifts like you did in your 40s. And without that intensity, creatine just sits in your system. It doesn't signal your muscles to grow because the stimulus is missing. Then there's the second problem that almost no one talks about: hydration. For creatine to work, it has to pull water into your muscle cells. That's what helps them swell and perform better. But that also means you're expected to drink at least 2 liters of water every single day, sometimes even more. Now be honest with yourself. How realistic is that at your age? Not only is it inconvenient, it's unhealthy. Because as we get older, our kidneys don't filter water and waste as efficiently. And drinking excessive water leads to something that destroys muscle recovery: broken sleep. When you have to get up 2 or 3 times at night to use the bathroom, your body loses its deep sleep cycles, and that's the exact time your muscles rebuild and release growth hormone. So, even if you're taking creatine, right, your body never actually recovers the way it should. And that's the part most people miss. Without recovery, there is no growth. So what's the solution? If creatine doesn't fit the lifestyle or biology of older men, what does? That's where things get exciting, because modern research is finally catching up with what I've seen in my practice for years. There are certain vitamins and nutrients that do what creatine can't. They rebuild, repair, and protect your muscle fibers naturally, without stressing your body, and without needing gallons of water or gym torture. Let's start with one that's hiding in plain sight: vitamin C. Now I know it sounds too simple, right? You've been hearing about vitamin C your whole life. But what most people don't realize is that this one vitamin acts like a silent mechanic inside your body. It doesn't just fight colds, it rebuilds tissues, strengthens joints, and restores muscle tone from the inside out. Unlike creatine, vitamin C doesn't depend on how hard you train. It depends on how consistently you feed your cells. Think of it this way. When you go for your morning walk, your muscles experience micro-tears, tiny damages that need to be repaired. Vitamin C is the repair signal. It reduces inflammation, triggers collagen formation, and protects those fragile muscle fibers from oxidative damage, the same kind that makes your knees ache or your back feel stiff after walking. And here's the beauty of it. It's gentle on your kidneys, it helps you sleep better, and it even boosts your body's ability to use the protein you eat. When you take it on an empty stomach before breakfast, it's absorbed faster. Your bloodstream gets flooded with antioxidants and repair molecules that prepare your muscles to rebuild during the day. Then when you eat your protein, eggs, oats, or yogurt, your body can use it more efficiently. Instead of storing it as fat, it uses it to strengthen your muscles. A massive study that followed more than 13,000 adults found that those with high vitamin C levels had more muscle mass, better grip strength, and faster recovery, even well into their 70s. That's not gym talk, that's data. So, how do you use this information? Start your mornings with something simple. A glass of water with fresh lemon juice, an orange, a kiwi, or a few slices of pineapple. Maybe even a smoothie with spinach and morena. These give your muscles exactly what they need to rebuild. Add olive oil to your meals later in the day, because healthy fats help your body absorb vitamin C better. By evening, you've already fed your muscles the repair material they need. Now I know what you're thinking. If vitamin C is so good, why haven't doctors been shouting about it for muscle growth? Because for years, the fitness industry has been obsessed with the visible powders, protein shakes, supplements with flashy names. But what truly matters is what's absorbable, what your cells actually use. And that brings me to the second piece of the puzzle, your gut. Listen, your gut is not just a digestion machine, it's your control center. It decides how much protein, vitamin, or mineral your body actually gets. You can eat the best food in the world, but if your gut bacteria are out of balance, your muscles will starve while your stomach feels full. That's where probiotics come in. They're not just for digestion, they're for absorption. They rebuild the colony of good bacteria that help your body pull nutrients from your food and direct them where they're needed most, like your bones and muscles. Without them, you could be wasting up to 50% of the protein you eat. That's right, half of it goes down the drain. A clinical study with older adults found that those who took probiotics daily for 12 weeks increased their muscle protein synthesis by 32%. That means their bodies were literally rebuilding faster, even without changing their workouts. Probiotics also lower inflammation, improve sleep, and increase your natural production of growth hormone, which, as you know, is essential for staying strong after 60. If you want the full benefit, take your probiotic supplement first thing in the morning, right before your vitamin C. That way, you prepare your gut for the nutrients you're about to eat, and your body gets every ounce of benefit. But here's where most men get it wrong. They ruin all this effort with what they eat right after. There are 3 foods that silently block your progress, and almost every senior I meet is guilty of at least one. The first is soy milk. It's often sold as healthy, but it's one of the biggest testosterone blockers out there. Soy is loaded with compounds that mimic estrogen, the opposite of what you need for muscle growth. Even worse, soy interferes with mineral absorption, things like zinc, magnesium, and iron, all of which your muscles depend on to recover. I had a patient, Harold, 79, who drank soy milk daily, thinking it was helping his heart. He was walking every day, eating clean, but still losing muscle. When we switched him to Greek yogurt and plant proteins without soy, within a month he gained 3 pounds of lean muscle back. The second silent saboteur, energy drinks. These are marketed as performance boosters, but they're really performance destroyers. They spike cortisol, your stress hormone, right before you sleep, stopping your body from releasing growth hormone. And without growth hormone, your muscles don't rebuild. They also mess with your sleep. The caffeine lingers in your system for hours, keeping you in light sleep instead of deep, healing rest. And let's not forget the sugar, or worse, artificial sweeteners, that cause inflammation and make it harder for your body to absorb amino acids. I saw this firsthand with Elaine, a 74-year-old retired nurse who felt drained every morning despite eating clean. She had one energy drink every evening. Once she replaced it with water and a calming herbal tea, her muscle soreness dropped, her energy returned, and her body finally started rebuilding again. And the third food that destroys nighttime recovery? White bread. It looks harmless, soft, easy, comforting, but it's one of the most deceptive foods for older men trying to maintain muscle. White bread spikes your blood sugar, raises insulin, and blocks your muscles from absorbing amino acids. Over time, it leads to insulin resistance, which means your body struggles to convert nutrients into strength. Even worse, it disrupts your nighttime hormone rhythm. Instead of releasing growth hormone to repair muscle, your body spends the night battling glucose spikes. A 2021 study found that older adults who ate high glycemic foods like white bread before bed released 34% less growth hormone during sleep. That's massive. I'll never forget George, 76, retired coach, who swore he was doing everything right. But he was eating 2 slices of white bread with honey every night before bed. Once we replaced that with oats and berries, his morning stiffness vanished, and within a month his muscle tone returned. The lesson is simple, my friend. It's not about how much protein or supplements you take. It's about whether your body can use them. So if you want to rebuild your muscles naturally after 60, start your mornings with vitamin C and probiotics. Avoid soy, skip the energy drinks, and cut out white bread, especially at night. Feed your body what it can absorb. Rest deeply. Move daily. And watch your strength return faster than you thought possible. Because the truth is, your body still remembers how to build muscle. It just needs the right signal and the right nutrients to wake it up again.